Hey guys, welcome back to my show. In today's episode, I'll be doing a book talk on Rick Riordan Presents Book called The Cursed Carnival and Other Calamities. It's a book written by Rick Riordan and other amazing authors. They bring to you the stories about mythic heroes, and it's written by Hernandez, Roshani Chokshi, Cervantes, Yoon Ha Lee, Kwame Mbalia, Roanhorse, Tehlor Kay Mejia, Sarwat Chadda, and Graci Kim. So I can't wait to talk to you about this book. But before that, I'll be talking to you about round characters and flat characters, what's the difference between them, what they are, and how to write a good round character. So without further ado, let me begin. So round characters are basically well-developed, amazing characters who are well-rounded and have a lot of personality, quality, amazing traits, and amazing personalities. They're also someone you can really personalize with and feel that you're really connected to them through the way they've been developed clearly. Now, an example of a round character would be Harry Potter. You really can see that he is round, he's fully developed, you can imagine him in your head, he has a great personality. You really feel that you can really imagine him in your head. You can visualize that, yes, I can see his scar, I can experience his pains and fears and whatever is going on in his life. So you can really delve deep into what's going on there. So that's what a round character really does to the reader. It really puts them into the character's shoes and makes them feel what the character is feeling. So that's a great thing about being a writer. You can change the reader's life by the way you write your story. You can make or break your story based on your character's setting, plot. All of these aspects really matter in how your quality of your work is. If your character is not good, your plot, no matter how good your plot is, it won't be interesting. Because you need to make your readers care about your characters, which is why you need to have a round character instead of flat characters. Now you all may be wondering, I'm talking about round characters this whole time. So far I've been talking round characters, but you must be wondering, what is flat characters then? Well, that's the total opposite. So flat characters are the characters who are really baseless, they do not have any personality, they're really flat as in like they do not really do much, they have like no motivation, no conflict going on around them, they do not evolve over time, they just the same way they were in the start. So basically there's two dimensions, basically no depth and no real personality. So that's a little bit about what a flat character is, and the best thing to avoid it is basically it's not that you do not have to, I'm not saying that do not have flat characters, it's best to have a few flat characters as well. So basically a good story needs both of them. It needs a balance of both characters, round as well as flat, so that your book is or story is not unbalanced and full of round characters, which makes your reader feel that there are too many characters roaming around. So your flat characters really need to have a purpose which really propels your story forward, which means that some of your flat characters could possibly be your sidekicks, the sidekicks of the main protagonist, or it could be an maybe a mentor. Your mentor maybe shouldn't be completely flat, it should be kind of in between, so kind of be a little bit round, a little bit flat at the same time, because your mentor really needs to have a personality. Especially if you're writing fantasy, your mentor, not all books have mentors in them, especially in fantasy. Some do, some don't. Like in Harry Potter, the mentor was Dumbledore, you could really visualize him. So he would be kind of a mix between a flat character and a round character. Since he wasn't the protagonist, he was still important to the role. His role was important to the story. Without him, maybe Harry would not have realized that he is a wizard. So anyways, that's what it is. And I think just to justify this one more time, flat characters are really not complex. They are not changing throughout the story. They're just flat. So flat, like kind of like a road. Some flat roads, some are round roads, like turns and everything. So basically, they do not change throughout the story. For example, just another way to to tell you how this works would be probably let me think of a good example. A good example would be I can't think of one on top of my head, but you could think of like an example of this would be a character who's probably like really scared of things or something, and in the end they're still scared. That would be wrong, because you really want to show them not being afraid by the end, which makes them a round character, because they're evolving from their past way they behaved and acted. But since they didn't change, they're flat, which shouldn't be the case in this, because you really want to make your character evolve, especially if they're having this kind of issues going on. But if your flat character is flat because, I don't know, maybe your character is a grown man already, a grown lady, and in the end they're still a grown lady, they're not aged at all, that's also flat and kind of incorrect as well, because depending on the course of your novel or story, they should probably increase by age if your protagonist is aging as well, because you cannot have the side person be around the same age as your protagonist, especially if they were the childhood friend or something like that. Or, well, if the childhood friend makes sense, but maybe the childhood childhood pet or something like that. So maybe a childhood pet, unless of course it comes back from the dead or something like that happens, it's really unlikely to have. Now you can also have flat characters can also include animals. Now, making animals seem three-dimensional and make them more complex is going to be a little bit tricky. I myself have problems sometimes making my animal characters more realistic and more touching to the reader. But if you want to make a challenge, you can try that out as well. Anyways, the other parts for writing, now I'm going to just tell you 2 ways. This is an amazing way to see. So let me just give you an example on how you can change a flat thing to a round. So like you want to fix something up. Your flat story could be a person who loves working in the office. This is flat because you don't really know what's the motive behind her. Why does she love working? A round way would be she loves working because her ancestors were believed to be amazing architects or amazing people who worked in offices, and she just wanted to be like the ancestors even though she didn't really meet them. So that would be a fun way to show how evolved it is, because you know why she loves working or wants to work in an office. So that's how you can change a flat thing to a flat character to a round character. One last thing I would just like to add is the 4 to 6 tips I have for writing round characters. Number 1, they need to have a good personality, be really touching to your readers. They need to have evolvement going on. So if there's a conflict, they should really maybe the misbeliefs, maybe make the misbeliefs slowly go down. Maybe the misbelief was that everyone in the world doesn't like them, but then after what's happening, they realize it's just their mind which is telling them that, and realize everyone is fine with them. So kind of make them evolve with the thinking, their personality, maybe their age, depending on how long the time frame of your work. Conflict is also essential. If you're developing your character, you need to make your conflict make or break your character, depending on what you're putting and try your best to put your character in some situation which is really hard to get out of, and describe as much as you can on how they get out of the issue. Another one would be, don't just keep all people who Don't make your characters perfect. That's my, I think, top rule. Never ever make your characters completely perfect with no, like, what do you say, like no obstacles coming in their way, or no fears, no misbeliefs, nothing, because that just makes them feel really artificial, almost like a flat character. So even if your character has a good personality, if they have no misbeliefs or fears or all those kind of things, they would feel really artificial, which would not make your reader fall in love with the characters. So yeah, that's pretty much it for round characters and flat characters. Now we'll be doing a book talk on the Cursed Carnival and the other Calamities, which I was talking to you about earlier. So let me just talk to you more about who this is written about again. So basically, this book has amazing stories on mythic heroes. It's written by multiple authors from the Rick Riordan Presents imprint, and these authors have also written other books from the Rick Riordan Presents. For example, Carlos Hernandez has written many books about Sal and Gabby Break the Universe. They wrote all of those. Roshani Chokshi wrote all the Arusha books. Cervantes wrote the Storm Runner series. Kwame Mbalia wrote Tristan Strong, Punch of the Hole in the Sky. Yoon Ha Lee did, I think it was, I may be wrong about this one, but I think it was the Dragon Pearl, and then Graci Kim did the Dragon Warrior, I believe. And then, yeah, there are many other, I do not exactly remember the rest, but they're amazing authors and I really love their work, and I hope you do as well. Anyways, there are 9 stories in this book, and it's edited by Rick Riordan himself. And in fact, he wrote one story in this as well. So the stories which are in here are Calamity Juice by Carlos Hernandez, Beware the Grove of True Love by Roshani Chokshi, The Cave of Doom by Cervantes, The Initiation by Yoon Ha Lee, The Gum Baby Flies by Kwame Mbalia, The Demon Drum by Rebecca Roanhorse, Brutal and the Freaky Flower by Tehlor Kay Mejia, The Loneliest Demon by Sarwat Chadda, My Night at the Gifted Carnival by Graci Kim, and My Life as a Child Outlaw by Rick Riordan. Now, I'm in the process of reading this still, but so far whatever I've read is amazing. I especially love Beware the Grove of True Love, which was amazing. It was really true sense of everything was shown in there. It's truly adventurous and fun to read, and I hope you all enjoyed as well. I'm not really sure on how the other ones are, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be amazing since they're amazing authors. And I can't wait to finish reading this book and talk to you more about it in future episodes once I finish reading it. Anyways, this is the end of the episode. I hope you all learned something new and had fun today. Anyways, I hope to see you all next time, and I hope you keep reading and writing. See you guys. Bye.